Today I want to share my passion about anime, and I want to begin off. By the way, if you really need to prove whether I'm an anime fan, I think my background shows a few things up there, right? My wallpaper. So hope that does the trick in terms of showing you whether I let me center myself right there. Am I centered? I guess I'm centered. Uh, yeah, right there. So now, quick background. I've been watching a lot of anime, and I have been watching, and I read a lot of manga, manhwa, mahwal. I read a lot. So when it came to solo leveling, which is making the rounds right now, and it's really really hot. I'm one of the people who read it way before it became a thing, and I couldn't help but notice some disparities between what is shown in the anime versus what was in the manga. So I want to share the manga. I don't know whether there are copyright strikes around that, but I'm going to be showing you guys the manga, and you guys tell me. They were both amazing. I just finished episode 12. It was amazing. But I don't know why. I feel I'm biased towards the manga. So today we're going to try and look at the whole Jeju Island situation. I'm going to begin when the hunters arrive at Jeju Island. Another thing, solo leveling it's from Korea, so most of the names slightly differ. So I don't remember him being called Jinwoo. I think it was a more Korean name. We shall see that. So let me share my screen and I show you a bit of that. So here we are, right? Let me just go up top, way up top. So as you can see, chapter 95. So you see here the coast of China, coast of Taiwan, all these ships are coming through towards Jeju Island. They're driving through. I'm just going to peruse. You've been watching the anime, really, right? So it's time to start bracing yourselves. The ants may have caught on by now. They could come flying at any moment. You can see them preparing on the ship. I think you already saw this Aaron Hunter over jazzing. Oh, well then make sure you watch our backs. So yeah, I think most of this is the same, right? Most of this is the same. I believe this is the hunter who was for sure. Nice, I can score some brownie points for being here. Yes, he's the Aaron hunter who was there for sure. But you see the names, Lee Min Sung, that's it. You see, more Korean, really. So yeah, a lot. So this is the Aaron hunter who is the cameraman. This is pretty much the same, right, guys? Let me just go all the way down, all the way down. A lot of chit chat, chit chat. The Japanese team is right here already doing their thing. Open the floodgates. They push their auras out. The ants follow through. There you go. The guildmaster. Pretty much, this is copy paste what was happening, right? And then he jumps out looking fly, sends fire through, and then the other hunters with all their Riz also just jump. That's a cool scene, right? Right. So they arrive. Next chapter. And again, I'm just running through them. So you see the hunters. These Japanese guys are chilling. Isn't this the baby gets I head beheaded first? Let's see how that goes down. So you see, the other team is doing its thing. The other team, the ice guys team, is also doing its thing. These guys come into the cage, put up the net, send fires through to figure out which the right turn, what right tunnel is. They figure it out. Meanwhile, our guy is dealing with his, steps. I think this was there. He's keeping tabs. They're doing their thing. Everyone's doing their thing. They're learning the egg zone. You know, everything here is according to script. Okay, heads are flying. Let's begin. So they arrive here. Okay, I have some panels that are still loading. Stop being annoying, Shimizu. Just heal me. And I think also here the heads just fly off, right? I believe the heads just fly off. Yep. Heads fly off. And all we see are those pair of eyes. More heads fly off. This guy notices something. Do we get a bit of that? No. His head also flies off. But at least I don't remember the anime showing us this as if he was trying to, make an effort. Yep. Heads fly off. Next. And again, I'm trying to peruse through quickly so that we go to the scenes that yeah, these guys are doing what they did. This was done really well though in the anime. Her trying to look all cool. The healer doing his thing. Now, this is another thing they never got to show us in the anime. You see, the healer does some fighting here and there. He's not like super weak, right? Did you forget? Even if you crush their skulls, they can remain alive for quite some times. If you have to either cut off their limbs or make sure you finish them off for good. That sounds like it was already in the anime. Anyway, let's continue. They move further in. More heads flying. Yeah, more heads about to fly. This is, let's see. Yeah, this is pretty much verbatim what is in the anime. They fight the queen. Take it down. Let's just jump straight. Okay. Guys, you're going to excuse my internet. It's not that fast, but yeah. It looks like they're doing their thing. They're shining. Doing their thing. Oh, honey, the hunters will be on today. Aren't you going to watch? Nah. Come on, don't be like that. The reporters on TV said the hunters will be sure to get their answer for good this time. Did we see this family? I guess we did. I don't remember the details. But you see, the whole of Korea is watching them taking down this queen. Okay. This was pretty what you're aware of. And I think we kill off the queen on this one. Wait a minute. Oh, the net is blast open, but have they killed off the queen? Yes, I think they have. The queen has been, yep, the queen has been killed. After making that last hurrah, these are going back into the net, and this is when things go south. There's. So, this doesn't make any sense. Look at the design. Menacing, right? Makes a cry. Now in the anime, if I remember correctly, Beerus just walks past them before any cries, gets to the mother queen and consumes her, right? How is, you see, Beerus makes a cry, a single beast capable of such strength. And this is where it gets interesting, guys. This is where it gets interesting. So, chapter 99. She smells. Let's go. How is. Yep. She smells. That's the actual design. Look at that. Menacing, right? Anyhow, can't believe it. That thing is no ordinary beast. The beast had suddenly appeared before us, and the very sound of its footsteps sent shivers down our spines. We don't have time to be standing around. We have to defeat that thing. And you see this scene? It looks more devastating than it actually was. And he just walks past the guy. That was in the anime. Jeez. Gets to the mother, walked past right them, and the camera guy falls down. They didn't even bother showing us the camera guy at this point. The guy sent shivers down their spines. Look at the level of detail on those eyes. You can see those, you know. And she's barely hanging on that aura. This is the swimming also where Beerus gets behind and right in the arm, breaks that arm off. She goes, falls, and gets behind. Now here it looks like he turns around and sees it, but in the anime I believe he gets big first, then he turns around, right? And they break this guy's arm. Guy brings the other arm with the sword, chop it off. Pretty accurate. Splatter. Yeah, this white tigers guild guy comes through. He's also sorted out. I think the anime did a very good showcase of this. This guy from the, I believe, Hunters Guild, was it? Yep. Cut through him. Our arrow guy sends through one of his super arrows. The hole that is 1-for-1, right? Breaks that arrow. Comes this. Smack him out. Comes, and I believe our huge guy comes back in. Yeah. He's healed. But who goes and tells people that they have their healer right by their side? I've got Byung-gu by my side. You're giving up your guy. Really? I believe in the anime it says we have our healer right by our side. And yep, the healer is here disguising himself. This guy they do a Loki on him, throw him back and forth. You see, bam, 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 bam. Guy, and this guy is scared shitless. They see right through him, and they go for the jugular, and he's killed. That was a sick panel. I like what the manga anime did though. Yeah, giving us the perspective of Byung-gu. I think it's called something else. Devastation at its best. Now, I do remember, and then they show us this. Something I want to highlight on the fight with Goto was shown more of in the manhwa or the manga. They didn't show us much of that fight with Goto when it came to the anime, but I could be wrong. I read this a while back, maybe like 4, 5, 6 years ago. Okay, This is when it develops speech, right? Uh-huh. Memories. Yeah, it asks for the king is outside and off it ran. Now let's just go straight to what's happening out. Here's Goto. This is copy paste what's in the anime. Goto shows up. Let me skip a couple of panels that have not loaded. It arrives. Goto saves himself. His body's head goes off. Tells his body to run. This ant has quite a threatening presence. Are you the king? Sends its aura. How is it able to wield such powerful magic? E. Wait a minute. Do I remember Gojo Island a bit different? Why do I remember Goto putting up a fight? Hmm. Okay, we're back to these guys. Okay, he remembers his sword breaks and his head goes off. Huh. Okay. I guess that's what happened to him. Murder she wrote. And this is where I think the anime did a better job, because the shadows come, they stop the ants, and then there's a panel loading that's taking a minute to come. But all we see is general exchange. I need to verify, is he on top of like a building? This one, this section, I believe the what? Yep. This section the anime did quite okay. There we go. There we go. So the shadow that he's supposed to exchange with sends the signal back to him, and he's on the street. He's not like up top a building. So the anime went and tried to add on some more, you know, some more. What are the guys calling it? Like, let me call it swag. Yeah. And the guy just pretty much exchanged. Sorry. And we go where? Yep. I would have had more conversation with him if I'd known I'd end up this way. Now this guy is regretting why he's here in the first place, and just when he's about to get killed, he's saved by who, you might ask? Our Shadow Knight. I don't think we saw that. Now this is episode 12. Signal is all out, right? Now we are chapter 101. Let's see how long this thing goes for. Our episode 12. So he arrives, and look at that. Look at his eyes. It's like he has a shadow. Part of the shadow is part of him. Even his cloak has a bit of shadowy stuff. Guy has a lot of rays, guys. Look at him. Mhm. That is the panel. They do it sideways, but it's right there. Jeez. I feel the manga did a good job on this panel, because in the anime, this magic wielder shadow was like guarding the S-rank hunters. Here they just line up. Look at that. Nice. Iron. I saw this was in the anime, the way he calls out Iron to do the shout of provocation. And then shout of provocation, good work. And now this is where things change. Here he gets his swords out right there and then. and he goes in. Guy goes in right in there. And now we see the scene where he's now this magic guy is protecting the S rank hunters. You see, it's similar, but some few changes here and there, right? What just happened? Who is the one fighting? Coach Ma. Looks like we're in good hands. Everything's going to be okay. Now, here's the difference. In the anime, this white tiger guy does not know the full extent of Jinwoo's powers, but in here, it looks like he has a good grasp already because he's like, guys, we're in good hands. Let's just chill. Everything's going to be okay. And yeah, our night guys are standing on business right now. Now, this is another thing that changes here. Clears all these ants, and he immediately arise. He makes them soldiers. What's going on? Where are the where are those ants? Were those ants just resurrected? So he resurrects the ants. Now in the anime, it diverts. He does not resurrect the ants because when he's about to, Beerus walks in. Here he does, and he's not afraid to show off. Whereas in the anime, he's a bit anxious doing it in front of the S rank hunters. In here, he was like the F. Mm. Now they're asking this guy, explain to us what's happening. Explain to the whole country what's happening. But the guy's like, I'm not sure what's going on either. I don't know why, but the ants are fighting each other. You see? The shadow ants. So we didn't get to see a lot of that. So you see everyone gather around. He comes back. The portion bottle is a bit different. You can see here. Can make this, please drink up, and everything I'm about to give you. So gives everyone, comes to her, tries. This is pretty much the same. The ant comes back. He was not the king. Are there others? Others you call king? It shows up. And yep, he goes straight up. I was wondering why Goto Ryu Shadow was no longer detected. This was like in the anime, right? And there are two panels here. Let me try refreshing so that we can get these panels to show. Anyway, let's just jump straight in to the next chapter, 1 or 2. In the second chapter, you have quite a threatening presence, human. Next, yeah, these are the panels from the previous, the ones I was trying to load. So, 5 minutes ago, the broadcast is not available. So this is the part which we see when people could not access the broadcasts, right? The Japanese guy. The animators did a very good job at, trying to animate these guys. The mom, the kid. Yep. Stones flying high. I think this is when the punches begin flying out. Test of strength, right? Throws a punch. You are weak. You must not be the key. It's wanted to say king though. Look at that shot. Look at that. Spits out. That was in the thing. The commander's touch has been activated. Gets the punch in. cracks the guy up, gets another one, cranks him up. Guy goes to his knees. Now in the anime, he just punches him some distance off. Here, he just gives him one straight to his knees. Mm. They stand up and whacks him again, and then he flies off. We don't see a lot of comedy in the actual episode, but I think that was intended to keep the tension up and the heat up. But this conversation didn't happen in the episode. Coach Beck, Coach Joy, are you sure Song is a mage type hunter? I knew he was powerful, but I never imagined he'd be this strong. You see, thing shows up again. How irritating. He says that with a smile. Thing shows up again. Holds that we saw. And then another punch. And then they begin going at it. Jeez. Look at that. The hell is this guy? Another chapter, here we go. Guys, go at it. Punch for punch. He broke through my exoskeleton? Impossible. Shows up. And punches begin to fly. This is the tongue thing. Scraps him. And they all step back a bit. And the poison thing. Here they're explaining what that is. And then we go back outside. Okay, this we saw. And then we began off here. Punches. Fight continues. He heals up. And then it's about to get serious. Goes up in the air. We saw this. I don't want to waste time on things we already saw now. In the anime, they did a tremendous job with that transformation, because in the manga, here they went a bit under, because all they do here is he says he's resistant to poison, trying to overpower him will only be a waste of time, and they just show some form of aura thing. If strength is his strongest attribute, there's no point in facing him head on. My true strength lies in my speed, and it just releases its like claws, and that's all they show us. But what they did in the anime to show this was way more to kind of amp the ante. Gets his daggers out, and then we fly again, dodges the attack, and the fight goes. Now another thing I do a lot is when fights are happening and I'm reading a panel, I kind of breeze through, because in my head I'm playing it in real time, so I kind of just breeze through the panel so that I have kind of something closer to what an anime would feel like. It's moving even faster. Now, we didn't see this bit of the conversation. This ant is about as strong as the Demon King, perhaps even stronger. But I've leveled up after defeating the Demon King, and I'm now wielding a more powerful weapon. So we didn't see all this dialogue happening, internal dialogue happening with Jinwoo. Once more, I've inflicted noticeable damage to Ant's exoskeleton, and we see the damage. Now, in the anime, they focus mostly on the internal dialogue of the ant. In the manga, they show the dialogue on both sides. Now, this is when the battle just goes crazy. Now is my chance. Look at those critical attacks. Look. Guys, gets an upgrade, mutilate. Thing tries to run away. Where do you think you're going? Goes for it. Mutilates it. Chops off the arm. It tries to go after him. He jumps off to a distance. Do I seriously have no advantage over this human? No, I do. Now in the anime, at this point, the Beros just wanted to get out of there, but here it's still believing it can do something about it. Makes another cry. All these ants come. They do like a storm situation. How is that human? And then he grins and he also does his own thing. Go. Look at that. But the way they just breathe past this. Anyway, let's go. Mm. And the battle for ants versus ants versus shadows happens. This is one. Now we're going to 105. Oh, 104, sorry. 104. And the battle ensues. Come forth. Only attack the ants. If you hurt any of the humans, I won't summon you ever again. Now this was a joke, but there was no time for this in the anime. As I said, they focused on the actual, heat of things. And then we blast out. We saw this scene. Is that a summon beast? Did he really summon that thing? We barely get reactions from these hunters in the anime. And I believe they are a very important aspect of this whole thing, right? Very important. Anyway, no, that doesn't look like a beast. It looks like the devil himself has descended upon the land of the living and he's speaking about the shadow. We're giving it its props, guys. Look at Beros looking at what's happening to his fellow ants. I don't understand. Ever since I was born, I've always been the strongest. I devoured everything that stood in my path and claimed my place at the top of the food chain. There is no limit to how powerful I can become. I am the king. I am the king. So why? Why? I must. Guy shows up. Look at that. Look at that pan. Look at that pan. And then he says, I must flee. In order to survive, I must flee. Think that's a healing ability situation and tries to flee off. Now, the way he stops it is using this Jihan situation magic thing, slams it back down. Though I like the anime what it did there where they tries to actually flee out and he runs after it, but here I feel this gives it more presence, like when he just slams it using the arm thing. It's like, where are you going? He doesn't even need to chase after him. In the anime, he chased after him, which was cool. Actually, I liked it visually, but this feels more commanding. Look at that frame. Look at that frame. Jeez. Thing begins crawling to run, and then he jumps after it. Mutilate. Mutilate is right there on the spot. You've defeated. Level up. How did this thing end? We're still watching. Oh, he runs to the lady Chun, right? Yeah, runs to her. Took too long, comes here. Is there a way he tries we didn't see this bit of things when he's trying to heal her. I have to find a healer first. My shadow exchange skill has its limits though. There is still some time left before I can use the skill again, and I'm also not sure if I can teleport with another person. I haven't tested it out yet. I guess the next best option would be to fly out of here on Kaizo's back, but she would probably die mid-flight. I wonder if there's a healer from the Blade Guild who is still alive, but there has to be a way. Excuse me, can you turn off the camera for a second? Pardon? Hurry up. If you don't shut it off, I'm going to smash it to pieces. See? Okay. I hope they don't show this in the anime because this when this is happening, because this is when the episode about to end, right? Maybe they'll show it in the next episode, but technically it should have been in this episode because this conversation was happening. Oh no, I think it's going to happen in the next episode. Guys, from here, if you don't want to continue, these are spoilers. Just run off. Stop here. Stop here. Right? Listen up, shadows. Go find Ming Byung-gu's body. Is he going to? He gets the shadows. They get the body of the healer, whose head was like chopped off. The ant chewed off his head. Will this work? What are you trying to do? And what he did, he arose the healer in form of a shadow, but he failed to extract the shadow. He said it again, failed again. I guess he cannot just turn an S rank, right? Said arise again. What have you done to Byung-gu? Do you have the power to? And bam, command the dead. He raises him. Guys, we're stopping here. Chapter 104. You've seen the differences. Tell me if you want me to do more of these. I'm curious. I know my camera is not the best. I'm using a 1080 Powerology camera. But I thought I should share this. I'm trying to get something better. And I'm still not familiar with how to handle lighting. And it's night, so not the best light. But guys, tell me whether you want me to do this kind of content where I'm showing you the what changes in the manga. And again, bang, have a good day. Thank you.